Hi, welcome to the second episode of Learn to Debate with Coach Bolo. So first, I'd like to give a recap of what happened in the first episode. Is basically I asked you to look for debate topics and motions that interest you the most, and asked you to develop one opinion per each side. Now, what we're gonna do in this video is to learn how to craft opinions into arguments. So I want to tell you what is the difference between what an opinion is versus an argument. So according to Google, because like you can use Google, I'm just gonna share what an opinion means. So in this web page, it says an opinion, this one, is a point of view formed without sufficient evidence to support it. It means it tends to reflect on individuals' instinctive reactions and personal experiences. While an argument involves arriving at a judgment which is based on an evaluation of relevant ideas and evidences. Now, the question that I'd like to answer is, how do we create ideas or evaluate them, and how do we put in evidence? And this is something that I'd like to share in terms of how to turn opinions into arguments that you can use in any type of debate. I'm not saying that this is the one and only way. This is my recommendation. Other coaches may also have like different approaches, and I also encourage other coaches to share how they formulate arguments and ideas. All right. So now, for an example, I chose the motion or debate topic called "This House Regrets Animal Testing." Yeah. Ooh. Now, with this motion, I developed like one opinion for pro or government side and another one for con or opposition side. So, for example, in developing an argument, here's the opinion that I placed. So for government side or pro side, I said that my opinion is it's abusive to animals. But for con or opposition side, it says that it saves lives. So what these things are, as of the moment, is called an opinion. Why is that so? Because it's a point of view that I formed without any sufficient evidence to support it, or there's no evaluation of relevant ideas. Now the question then is, how do we add a relevant idea to the opinions that we've had? So for example, my opinion is to save lives, or an opinion is that it's abusive to animals. And what I would say is that one way to add ideas into it is to formulate a question based on the opinion or the claim that you have provided. What do I mean by this? So for example, if you're in pro side or government side and you say that you regret animal testing because it's abusive to animals, what are you gonna do then? So what I recommend is you add a question towards your opinion to develop an idea or an argument. So for example, it's abusive to animals. One of the questions that a person might ask is, let me write it down. Is why? Why is it abusive to animals? So like I can add like one or two reasons as to why. So for example, number one, they might die. And number two, it hurts them. Alright? So that's one way for your opinion to be turned into an argument. Because now you're putting an idea that number one, they might die, number two, it hurts them. Right? And then what's the beauty about turning opinions into an argument is that it's never ending in terms of how you can put more questions and add answers to them so that the idea can get stronger. So for example, if I say they might die or it hurts them, another question that might pop up to another person's mind is, for example, how? Like, how does it hurt them? Hurt them. Yeah. Alright? So that's another way for me to add like an answer on how it hurts them. Like I could say that some people get some animals get to breathe in toxic fumes and whatnot. So like the way you can construct your argument is endless by patterning it with certain questions and answering those particular questions. So now from an opinion that it's abusive to animals, it turns into an argument because you add more ideas by putting in questions in there and answering those questions, which leads to new questions, which leads to new answers, which means that this is the process by which you substantiate the opinion. That's why it turns into an argument. Now, another thing that you could do is, other than putting questions and answering those questions, is also, for example, you add evidence. And what do I mean by evidence? So an evidence is essentially facts or information indicating whether a belief is true or not. So in some tournaments you can't use like the internet. In some tournaments you can prepare for it. So for example, I prepared an evidence as to why it's abusive. So I could say that according to this group, which is called People for Ethical Treatment of Animals, or aka they're called PETA. They would say that many animals go under cruel chemical, drug, food, and cosmetic tests, as in medical training exercises, and sometimes curiosity-driven medical experiments at universities, which makes them suffer and die. So examples of tests is like, for example, forcing mice and rats to inhale toxic fumes, force-feeding dogs pesticides, and dripping corrosive chemicals into rabbit sensitive eyes. So those are the things that they've done to like abuse animals according to this international organization for protecting animal rights. So that's how you turn opinions into arguments. Number one, you add questions inside there that you can answer in order for you to substantiate your main idea. But second is you find evidence, so like facts and information, to indicate why this claim is then true. So for example, in this one, I will leave it up to you and share it in the comment section below. If you were Con and if you had the opinion that it saves lives, what are the types of questions you would ask, and how would you answer them, and what evidence would you put it there? So share it in the comment section below, and also share with me what is the next lesson that you'd like to learn. But I'll give you like a head start. So if I say it saves lives, maybe the next question that you could answer is the question of how. How does animal testing save lives? All right, that's it. Thank you very much for watching.